Hey, what up? We're live. How's it going? Let me just turn this thing down super quick. Alright, we're good. So, how to get a six-pack? So all you gotta do is eat less, train abs a little bit, and have a be a genetic freak. Thank you very much. We shall see you tomorrow. So, how to get a six-pack? Which is it's a bit of a clickbaity title, I know. But there's a couple of things I want to talk about with it, and then we're just going to do a quick workout. So this is more like talky. I'll say what I want to say, probably miss a couple of things because I forgot, and I'm really bad at not writing them down. But then we'll do a quick workout, and then, yeah, that'll be it really. Okay, so, a six-pack. So a six-pack is kind of this statement of fitness in the fitness industry. Like, to be fit, you have to have a six-pack. And, yeah, and that sort of thing. So, like, particularly amongst young blokes and that sort of thing. So, what do you want? I say, oh, what do you want to do in the gym? I want a six-pack. Like, cool, right? Might not ever happen. So, depending on your genetics, like how your muscles are made up, and that sort of thing, will completely depend if you can get a six-pack or not. Some people might not even have a six-pack. Some people might have a four-pack or like a two-pack. Some people have 8 packs. It just like it all depends on like just how your body's made up. So that's one thing. So my brother, for example, is different shape to me and like lean, but he's like more of like a solid 4-pack kind of thing, like 6-pack, but like not the same shape as me, if that makes sense. Then you have to consider your genetics in the sense of where you store your fat. So depending where you store your fat will depend on like how easy it is then for your abs to show. It doesn't matter how big your abs are. Like if you've got fat covering them, you're not going to see them. I'm a genetic freak. I've always got some kind of six-pack because I don't store my fat around here. I tend to store my fat around here on my lower back. You see, so there. That's all my chunkiness. Not that it's a great deal, I know, but that's where I store my fat. Yeah. So I can still like put on a bit of weight and be less lean, and still get away with having a six-pack just because that's my genetics. So then So then you have to look, and then there's those two things. So yes, you have to train your abs and that sort of thing. I'm going to come back to one little thing about that in a sec. But then for some people, then it just might not be feasible. And then of course, then they have to be in a calorie deficit to get your body weight down and that sort of thing, low enough for your abs to show. And for some people, that might be a lot harder than it is for others, depending on your genetics, in like where you store your fat. Particularly for women as well. So women who want to like get their body weight, their body fat percentage low enough to show some abs, is a lot harder for men because they naturally have a higher body percentage than men do. Not only what comes with that as well then is that to get the lower down you go, the harder it is to lose the last couple of percentage. So for women it's extremely hard because like you're literally fighting we're fighting our DNA and our just the way we're built, because women are meant to have more fat on them than men because of childbirth and whatnot, and carrying babies. So it's a lot harder for women then to lose that, to get that low. Doesn't mean that, but then some women, again, genetic freaks, just that genetic lottery. Some women will be able to be much leaner than other women, but that's just down to genetic lottery. So so if you can't get a six-pack, don't worry so much, because it's not the staple of fitness at all. Is it nice to have a six-pack? Yeah, slightly biased, I suppose, just because I've got one. But doesn't mean you have a strong core. So like, I know a lot of people who have a six-pack and their core is piss poor week, awful. Like, so we're going to come to that. We'll move on to that then. So, so then having a six pack versus like looking slimmer. Okay, so this is another thing. So I mentioned before about a TVA. Yes, your transverse abs. So that horizontal sheet of abs that sits underneath your six pack muscles. So if I push my belly out, okay, can you see? So if I push my belly out, that's as far as I can push it out because I've got strong TVA. But then if I suck it in, it makes me naturally just appear slimmer. So if I suck it in again, so then if I really hollow it out. But I just naturally sit there rather than like that. Oh God, push it out. Because I have a strong TVA. You have a strong TVA, it will make you naturally appear slimmer and more defined as a result. Yeah, cool. So, and not only that, then you have a strong core as well. So, don't miss training your TVA. Fuck sit-ups. Who wants to do a sit-up? No one likes them. Yeah, don't do them. Don't do sit-ups. If you want to know why, ask me. I'll come back. I don't like that in this video. So yeah. Where was I going with that? So yeah, so when it comes to the six pack, if you have good genetics, you're lucky. Awesome. Ooh, bloating. Someone asked me to mention this. So some days we all wake up. So we all wake up and whatnot, and we feel more watery from or get bloated or that sort of thing. We all have those days. We wake up and like, this does mad in. If people say, if someone goes out, like everyone, no matter how skinny you are or that sort of thing, you'll wake up and go, fuck, I feel fat today, because you will just wake up and feel more watery or you feel bloated or that sort of thing. I'm not a fat guy. I wake up, sometimes I feel like an elephant. I just walk around and go, just feel blown up. Number of reasons for that. That could be what I've eaten the day before. If I've had a lot of salt, then that's going to hold more water retention. So that so I'm going to store more water, so I'll feel more. I can literally put on a couple of pounds overnight in just water retention. Very tall as well. So things like that. Bloating. So bloating, I don't know a lot about bloating other than obviously bloating can come if you're a woman. Your menstrual cycle then, towards the later parts of your menstrual cycle, you get bloated. That's perfectly normal. Other things that can cause bloat as well then is like having a high fiber diet. So for example, I have a high fiber diet in the sense of, I say a high fiber, I have a normal fiber diet, which is high for most people now. But particularly if you've cut out meat and you started eating other foods to replace those calories, you'll probably find your fiber's now gone up, and that can cause bloat for the first couple of weeks. Other thing as well is food intolerances. So food intolerances are far more common and that sort of thing, which can cause bloat. So things like wheat, gluten, soya, pea, what's that one? Pea. Lactose. So most people are lactose intolerant in some way. Just stay away from dairy. Like I have people who go, I eat cheese and I feel like death, but they can't stop eating cheese. I'm like, well, fucking don't eat it. Like, I eat cheese and I bloat. What can I do? Don't eat cheese. They say, but it tastes good. So it's weird. You're eating cow's breast milk, weirdo. That's my thoughts on dairy. Yeah. So food intolerances and that sort of thing. The only way you're ever going to know like how much of intolerance, and you can be allergic to all sorts of crazy things. There's a guy I know who actually does like these complete food profile intolerances, and you have like everything tested. You have a little pricky finger and you send it off to him. I haven't done one. I'd love to do one actually. So most people. So if you get bloating. Badly, like quite a lot. Try cut out dairy for a week and see how you feel. Even if you don't bloat, cut it out for a week, see how you feel. I can guarantee you'll feel better for it. But don't beat yourself up as well if you do get bloated and that sort of thing. And again, like if you're trying to get a six pack, I'm not saying stop but pick something else. because it might not ever happen because of your genetics. And particularly for a woman as well, that requires you being in a calorie deficit to lose enough body fat to then be able to show your abs. And then even then, you might not. That's going to be a lot harder for you. And you're going to deprive yourself of like loads of good things, loads of good foods, like calorie dense foods that you enjoy, and that sort of thing. And not you get all the other things that come with that as well. So it's like just being hungry, irritable, stressed. If you're hungry, stress levels get higher. And yeah, and for what? To look in the mirror and just go, ooh, I can see a lump and a line, and that might not be even sustainable. So, what's the point? So yeah. So yeah, I've rattled on quite a bit now. So we will do a core workout anyway, because we're here now. We're gonna do something to work our core. So I will say this then. So this is like how to get a six pack. How to get a six pack, since I've talked about it. How to get a six pack, be in a calorie deficit, and work on your abs a little bit. Yeah, but for some people, and be a genetic freak. Just have good genetics. I know it might, yeah. Oh, I was going to say, I wanted to talk about one more thing, and that was, so how to work your core. So how do you work your core and why? So to start, your core muscles. So I'll talk about calf muscles for a minute. I know it sounds random. When you go for a long walk or a hike or that sort of thing, up a mountain, that sort of thing. I mean, it's lockdown. You might have been up Snowdonia recently. Most of the people from London seem to have. But no, if you go for like a long walk or a hike or that sort of thing, the next day, your legs or your quads, hamstrings hurt. Yeah, glutes might hurt. Ankles maybe, like that sort of thing. But never your calf muscles. Your calf muscles don't ache, do they? Like majority, that's the majority of people. The calf muscles won't ache. Okay, and that's because they're made up of what is it? Type 1 or type 2? Forget. Endurance muscles. You get two types. You get type 1 and 2. I forget which one's which. One's like built for fast twitch, like for power, strength. The other one is built for endurance. So the difference between like Mo Farah, the marathon runner, and Usain Bolt, for example. Your calf muscles are primarily made up of slow twitch muscle fibers, endurance muscles. They're built to just keep going. There's not a lot of power behind them, but they just go. That's because they're designed then to keep you on your feet walking all day. Your abs are primarily made up of the same... this is back to calves. This is why in the gym, some blokes cannot get big calves because it's very hard to put size on that type of muscle. Now, everyone's genetic makeup is different, so they might not have they might have other type muscle fibers in their calves and can grow big calves. But and there's a type of muscle fiber. Is it type 2B? I forget the names of the damn things. But where they can take on traits of one or the other depending how you train them. And so people can grow big calves, and then some people just genetically can't. Arnold Schwarzenegger, for example, was one of those people really struggled to put size on his calves. That's why when you see Arnold Schwarzenegger do photo shoots on a beach, he's usually standing in a pool or water or in the ocean or something to hide his calves because he didn't like his calves because he couldn't grow that much size on them. Yeah. Back to abs. Your abs are endurance muscles. They're made up of the same type of muscle fibers. They're endurance muscles. This means they can take an absolute hiding. And they need to be endurance muscles because they're designed to keep us upright. Like, there's just our spine between here, no bones, nothing else. They're designed to keep us upright all day. Yeah? Imagine if they weren't, we'd get tired and we'd end up sitting like this. Like, come 2 o'clock, some of us are. But like, yeah, they're primarily made up of endurance muscles. That means they can take an absolute hiding. So when training abs, the best way to hit them for the start is lots of variety and often. So lots of variety and often. So like when you train abs, you can train it 5 times a week. 4 or 5 times a week, easily 4 or 5 times a week, and you just hit it quick and hard. 10 minutes max. Just hit it. Lots of variety, and that's the best way to hit it. Ooh. You can then start to train like strength within them. So for example, I don't do that kind of training anymore because of the nature of how I train. I end up using my core a lot anyway. So like you see me do my front lever training and stuff. That works a lot on my core. so I don't need to do the additional stuff. I'm doing strength training on my core then, and then I do hollow body holds to sort of like to finish them off. But like I rarely do a lot of variety stuff with them now. But yeah, but that's because I used to train core every single day because when I started my fitness journey, well, that's what I wanted. I wanted a six pack. I was like, I'm having a six pack, so I trained core every day. I did sit-ups every day. I will never do a sit-up now, but I did sit-ups every day. And they're awful, terrible. But that's not what got me a six pack, by the way. So yeah, let's train some core. I don't know what much more to say really. Waffled on quite a bit. Work. Let's do. Oh, this is gonna be horrible. No, we'll get that. 45 seconds on. Alright, let's just burn these abs. Are we ready? There's gonna be 5 rounds, 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off. 5 different exercises. We're just gonna burn these abs, drop down. Ready? So we're gonna come to our mat. 5 different exercises. The first exercise we are going to do is a Russian twist. So legs dead straight, toes pointed. Okay, lean back if you want and lift the legs up to make it harder. We're going to put a hand in our back pocket. So twisting like so. Okay? Don't do this. This is shit. Okay? Are you ready? That's going to be the first one. 45 seconds. Don't twist so fast and make yourself dizzy. It's more about the time and the tension. Endurance. Here we go. No, don't go. Ready? Feet dead straight. Lean back. 3, 2, 1, go! Good, I talked quite fast and quite a lot then. I hope it made kind of sense. Good, twist. That's it, keep going. Twist, put something in your back pocket. Twist. Don't put your hands down, so don't leaning down here. You want to keep this tension here. Good, again, lifting the feet up, you want to make it harder. If you've got bendy hamstrings, you can get away with just lifting them up and it doesn't really make a difference. So you see I'm not having to lean back as much because I have a little bit of flexibility and mobility in my hamstrings. Keep going, 8 seconds. Twist, pull belly button tight to spine. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Ready for the next one? Knees to chest, so feet don't touch the floor. Knees to chest, back down. Back down. Here we go. 2, 1, go. That's it. Oh, my hips don't like this one. Every time I bring my legs down, crunch. Good. Belly button tight to spine. That's it. Keep going. Breathing out as I bring my knees to chest. Bring your hands back behind you if you want to make it easier. If you want to make it harder, okay, you can pike the legs. 5 seconds. 2, 1, rest. I just remember what I wanted to say. Come back to it in a minute. Side plank next. So, lift the hips up, belly button tight to spine, wait for it. Elbow underneath the shoulder. 2, 1, up, nice and high. You gotta twist this, so touch your bum, back up, touch your bum, back up, nice and high. That's it, belly button tight to spine, hip up, bum squeeze, touch your bum, and back. Good, burn those obliques. Good, that's it. Keep going. 15 seconds. 10 seconds, come on. Feel the burn. 5, 3, 2, 1, rest. Same the other side. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, and up. Nice and high. twist, and up, twist. Good. Don't have to do the twist, okay? Bring your arm above your head, want to make it easier. Arm down here. Make sure the hips nice and high. Good. That's it. Keep going. So I'm twisting in, touch of a bum, come back up, keeping the hips nice and high. 10 seconds. Keep going. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good, last one. So we're going to come into a plank position. So we do plank dips. So into a plank, hip rolls forward, you can dip to the side, dip to the side. Get ready? 2, 1, go! Belly button tight to spine, and dip, and dip. Do not arch the back. Dip, dip. That's it. Good, belly button tight, bum squeeze. That's it. Keep the shoulders pressed. Feet. Good, keep going. 10 seconds. If you keep shuffling. Nearly there. 3, 2, 1. Rest. Good. Okay, so I mentioned having a strong TDA makes you naturally appear slimmer. So we're going to work that now. Got to have a good strong TDA. I'll be talking about that again tomorrow in my random video of the week. So first of all, we're going to take a deep breath in. Out. Put our belly button tight to spine. So deep breath in. Push it out. Breathe out. Belly button tight to spine. Okay, bring my knees to my chest. So I want to get rid of the arch in my lower back. Deep breath in and out. Put the belly button tight to spine. So hold it there for a minute. Bring through the chest. Keep belly button tight to spine. Good. Deep breath in and out. Put it tight to the spine. Tight, 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 tight. Now load it up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feet down and relax. It's really hard to talk and do that. So, making sure we don't end up arching his lower back, so keep the hip rolled forward. Okay? You ready? So, feet to chest again. You can hold your knees for a second if need be. Okay? So, deep breath in and out. As you breathe out, pull your belly button tight to spine. Tight, 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 tight. Breathe nice and natural now as you keep it tight. Good. Keep going. Keep it tight as you breathe through your chest. Deep breath in. Breathe out. As you breathe out, pull it tighter still. So really tight now. Tight, tight, tight. Now load it up. Good. 10, 9, 8, 7. Don't arch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And feet down. Good. So you load it up by bringing the knees out. I don't think I said that. So load it up is doing this. So load out. We don't want this to happen. Go relax for a sec. You want more? Are we ready? So, knees to chest. So breathe. Deep breath in. And out. We're going to tight to spine now. Do it nice and natural. Deep breath in. And out. Belly button tight to spine. Pull it tight, no arch. Build it up. Go to the forward slightly. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. And that's it. Job done. Thank you for listening to me waffle on. yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Hope you got something out of that. And if you're a genetic freak, then cool, lucky you. But yeah, it might not happen for everyone because that's just how we're built. Work with what we got, and yeah, I don't know what else to say about it really. Guys, thank you very much indeed. Tomorrow I'm going to give you, and we're going to have just a random chat really. It's just going to be my thoughts on pre and post natal workouts, and I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to come back to core on that, which is what the theme of the week it seems to be. But yeah, that's going to be my thoughts on that and that sort of thing. And again, I'm not qualified pre-post natal. This is just my thoughts and how I feel about it. So I'll share them with you. Why not? So yeah, cool. Thank you very much, guys. See you in a bit.